You know and love Mitch Albom as the best-selling author of Tuesdays with Morrie, Finding Chica, and The 5 People You Meet in Heaven, and so many more. He sold more than 40 million copies in 48 languages worldwide. Well, now he's back with his just-released 13th book. The Little Liar takes place during one of the darkest chapters in human history, the Holocaust. The novel centers on the themes of truth and explores the depths of humanity and what it takes to simply survive. And here to tell us more, we're so thrilled, Mitch is in studio with us. Welcome back to Your Morning.
Nice to be here.
You've written about so many topics throughout your career. Why did you choose to write about the Holocaust?
Well, I really wanted to write about truth, and I wanted to write a book that asked the question, what's the biggest lie you ever told, and what would you do to be forgiven for that lie? And I wanted to set it as a story of hope, but against a very hopeless time. So I used real events, and it was basically about a little boy who's never told a lie in his life, and a little girl who loves him for it, and how when the Nazis invade their town, they find out about his honesty and they decide to use him as a weapon. They pull him away from his family and they say, listen, we'll let you go back to your family. All you have to do is stand on these train tracks for a few weeks and tell people that they're going to a good place, good jobs and everything, and then you can go back, new homes. And thinking that he's telling the truth, he does this until the very last day when he sees his own family and the little girl being put on the train, and he finds out they're being sent to the concentration camps. And it follows him from then for the next 40 years, the effects of that one lie on him, on the girl, on his family, and on the Nazi who tricked him. So I thought, okay, if you want to do a story about truth and lies, that was probably the time to set it.
Boy, you can see how some of your other books would be woven into that, sort of how one single event can change the trajectory. You said you've been working on this book for 10 years. Why now?
Well, you know, you mentioned Tuesdays with Morrie, and I always feel that all the books that I have written since Tuesdays with Morrie have a slice of Tuesdays with Morrie in them. And one of the slices, one of the time when I spent my time with him, he was a dying professor. He said to me, before you die, you need to forgive everybody, everything, and forgive yourself. So forgiveness was a theme I wanted to sort of explore. And each one of my books has kind of explored some theme from Tuesdays with Morrie. And The Little Liar kind of deals with forgiveness because he spends his whole life trying to be forgiven for this. The girl spends her whole life trying to find him again to forgive him. And so I thought, I've got a good theme there. Let's work on that.
Like all of your books, I feel the weight of it in my heart already. Let's talk a little bit more about it. The novel begins in Thessalonica. That's the Greek city where 50,000 Jews were murdered by the Nazis. What drew you to that specific setting?
Well, probably because a lot of people are surprised to hear you say that. A lot of people are probably surprised to even hear that the Nazis invaded Greece. And I wanted to show that, you know, we're at a time now. I grew up in a neighborhood where there was a Jewish couple who always wore long sleeves. And I asked my mother, how come they're always wearing long sleeves? She said, well, they have these numbers tattooed on their arms. She didn't want people to see. Well, those people are now gone. You know, they've died. And their story doesn't get told anymore. And we can't just cover up history with long sleeves. So I wanted to pick a story that people probably didn't even know about. And Thessalonica was the majority Jewish city in all of Europe, had the largest majority population of Jews, and it was wiped out in 2 years, gone. And so if something like that could happen, you know, because of lies. I always say, you know, I say in the book, the Nazis didn't do what they did because they had bigger guns. They did what they did because they had bigger lies, and they got away with it. And so I thought it was a cautionary tale for today.
You choose a really unique narrator for this book. It's called The Voice of Truth, and weaves in stories throughout the main characters. And it's such a treat to have you here. And I wonder if you would read the first few lines from the chapter.
Yeah, this is the narrator. You can trust the story you are about to hear. You can trust it because I am telling it to you, and I am the only thing in this world you can trust. I am the shadow you cannot outrun, the mirror that holds your final reflection. I am truth, and this is a story about a boy who tried to break me.
Wow, you cannot outrun the truth. How did the concept and the character of truth come to be part of this story? Because you've got such powerful characters in there anyway. Yeah,
well, there's an old expression, sadly, it comes from a Nazi officer, a lie told once is easily seen as a lie, but a lie told 1,000 times becomes the truth. Whew. And I thought, okay, that really hurts the truth. And so let me make the story told by truth and have the narrator basically tell the story of this little boy and how he loses the ability to tell the truth and everything. And the truth is constantly saying, look what you've done to me. Look how you've broken me apart. I'm a virtue. And look at how you're destroying me. So I thought, well, I've not heard that one before. That's kind of original. And so I thought it'd be a good way to tell the story.
The book is about kids, and we know from your last visit here, you spent a lot of time with kids, particularly in the orphanage that you run. It's called Have Faith Haiti. Yeah. Can you tell us about the orphanage, how the kids are doing, and how they inspire your writing?
Yeah, well, Oh, it's great to see them.
Oh, I'm glad. I'm watching your face watch them.
So I took over an orphanage in 2010 in Haiti after the earthquake, and I've been there every month since, and I'll be there every month for the rest of my life. We have 65 children there right now. We have 12 in America who are in universities, and we have one in medical school. And these are kids who are often without birth certificates, without names, found, you know, in holes in the ground, and yet they start life with us. They stay with us. We don't adopt them out. They're our family, and they have taught me everything. And part of the reason I did this story about children is because I see the effects of trauma on children and the effects of lies and truth on kids, and I wanted to sort of bring that into a book about how we lose our innocence, but how we get it back in the end. I don't want anybody to think when they hear the word Holocaust that I've written a book that doesn't have hope, because every one of my books since Tuesdays with Morrie has been about hope, and this one is about too, and if you read it to the end, it has a hopeful ending.
You know, we're in a time where we're watching a lot of children who are in trauma and facing trauma for years to come, and hope is a really good message to hear. Mitch, thanks for coming back.
Oh, it's a pleasure to see you. Thank you.
All right, the book is called The Little Liar, and it's out right now.
Hey, thanks for watching. If you liked this, be sure to subscribe here, or you can check out more Your Morning videos right here.